Hi, I'm Dan Ziegler, volunteer for Omaha's Freedom Park, and today I'm going to tell you about a quick little fix we had to do on the ship's engine Telegraph back in November. See, in the last month of the park being open, this last season, the starboard lever for the ship's engine order telegraph became loose, and it didn't snap in position like it should have. And it prompted us to having to fix it. Before we get to that, I'm going to explain what an engine order telegraph is. If you want to skip to the actual fix part, here's a time code. An engine order telegraph communicates engine orders from the bridge to the engine rooms. It is not a throttle, but instead it communicates orders to the engineers so they know where to set the engine themselves. There's a telegraph here in the bridge, and there are two more, one in each of the engine rooms, the fore and aft engine rooms. See, in the bridge, you move the lever to the desired engine order, and then that rings a bell and moves a dial in the engine room. So here's the telegraph in the engine room. Well, this is the telegraph in the engine room. So when there's a new order from the bridge, the white needle in the middle here, that moves to the order given to you from the bridge. It rings a bell and also flashes these two lights. The engineer then moves the dial to the order given to you by the bridge. When he does that, it moves the small dial in the middle of this telegraph. And then the engineer goes about moving the throttle to the order he just received. Now they almost never move it straight to the order they want. How they actually give orders, they move the dial all the way back, all the way forward, and then the order they want. This is done to ring the bell multiple times so the engineers can hear it over the engine sounds. The different orders on the dial represent different RPM settings for the engines. Alright, now that I've gone over what an engine order telegraph is, I'll tell you how we fixed ours. Like I said at the start of the video, the starboard lever was loose and it didn't snap into place like the port side lever. We tried to take the glass off first, and then the faceplate, but we couldn't remove the small dial in the middle. Or rather, we were too afraid to pull too hard, and the next time we took a look at it, we removed the plate on the side of the box itself. Now we can finally see the guts of the telegraph. Here's how the telegraph is able to snap into position. The lever moves a gear in the center of the telegraph. There's an arm that fits into the teeth of this gear. A spring holds this arm to the gear. Thus, it feels like it's snapping into place. I made this animation in Blender to give you a rough idea of what it's doing. So what went wrong? The spring broke. Here's a picture of the original spring. You can see the spring that would normally hold the arm in place broke off, and thus the arm was loose. The fix is easy enough. We just need a new spring. And in that department we are very lucky. We have a spare engine telegraph in the crew shelter on the upper deck. We were able to do the same thing. We took the plate off, and we were able to remove the spring. Taking the spring off was the hardest part. Putting the new spring back on the telegraph was much easier in comparison. And there you have it. We have a new spring which will hold the arm against the gear, thus snapping into place. The new spring is a little weaker than the old one, but that's much better than nothing. You probably saw two giant cylinders on the inside of the telegraph. Those are electric motors. I said earlier the system uses electricity to communicate between the bridge telegraph and the engine room telegraphs. You can see when I move the lever, it also moved a gear under the motor. This sends a signal to the electric motor inside the engine room telegraph, the needle in the engine room. Unfortunately, none of these systems actually work now. The wires connecting the bridge telegraph were severed at the base a long time ago when the old telegraph was replaced by the current one. Restoring the telegraph to full functionality is a little beyond our expertise at the moment. I hope you enjoyed learning about the engine order telegraph and seeing the insides of one of these things. Subscribe for new videos and updates on the park.